Some moves are easier to make than others. When it comes to the world of personal finance, there are certain moves that you can make that can take you from average and middle class to above average and in the 1%. Well, what moves are those? We'll talk about that today on this episode of BTP Fusion. What's up, you guys? This is Derek West of BTP Fusion. On BTP Fusion, we love to talk about the synergy between business, technology, and personal finance. If tech, personal finance, and business scratches your itch, preemptively strike that like button and moidalize the subscribe button. Don't forget to tickle the notification bell so YouTube lets you know when we drop more great content. So in this life of ours, there are plenty of things that are comforting and easy to do. Things that come to mind are nestling up in front of the TV after a long day of work with hot cocoa in your hand, or some other beverage if you're choosing, and binge watching episodes of the Game of Thrones. Other things that come to mind are maybe continuing to do what you've always done at your job. You like your job, you're good at it, people recognize you for it, and you're paid relatively well. Life doesn't get much better, am I right? Hold on there, pal. What if you have larger goals in mind? What if you don't want to be just an employee your entire life, but you instead want to own a business? Or maybe you just want to be in a position where you don't have to answer to anyone but yourself and your family. Well, that can be a scary proposition. In fact, doing what it takes to get from where you are now to where you want to be is going to be a lot of work. And that in and of itself is putting yourself in an uncomfortable and very scary place. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the most uncomfortable and scariest moves that you can make to become rich. Getting a skill. There's no two ways about it. If you want to earn money, you have to provide value to people. Whether you're selling something or selling yourself, people want and crave value and are willing to pay handsomely for it. But if you currently don't have any skills or have a skill that doesn't pay, getting a skill or another skill can be a daunting and scary task. When most people think of gaining a new skill, they typically think of more traditional means of doing that. As an example, going to college or going back to college. My personal feelings on the subject aside, that is a way that you can gain a skill, but it is scary in that you need to dedicate a significant amount of time and resources to make this happen. If you already have a 9-to-5 job, this can be a serious commitment and one that will most likely be costly. And if we're talking about a traditional school here, it will likely only pay off marginally, as the cost of the school is going to be astronomical. Another alternative would be through online and continuing learning, through sites like Udemy and many others. So I talk about those sites a lot, and you probably think I'm sponsored by them, but I'm not. I'm just a big proponent of continued education at reasonable costs. You should never stop learning and trying to gain new skills or recapture old ones. I'm someone who went to college and studied subjects that would not be considered a waste of time. I think that the model of online learning is far superior to that of traditional education. I can and have delved into this topic in other videos, and perhaps I will dedicate an entire video to how technology has allowed for continuous, high-quality education. But suffice it to say, getting another skill doesn't have to be a daunting or scary task. Modern technology has allowed for this to be almost as easy as binge watching your favorite shows on Netflix. One of the scariest things about trying to change your station in life is realizing how much work it's going to take. No matter what any YouTube or financial guru is telling you, there is no such thing as truly passive income, with maybe a few minor exceptions. And that means if you want extra income, you're going to have to work extra hard. And that means that working 9 to 5 is out of the question. Scary, huh? Depending on your goals, you'll probably end up working 60 to 100 hours a week. And no, this doesn't necessarily mean putting in extra time at your job. It could, but not necessarily. If you still have a 9 to 5, I would recommend putting in that bare minimum and putting an extra 20 to 60 extra hours outside of that into your other efforts. How is that even possible, you may ask? I barely have any time as it is. Let's do a little bit of time accounting. There are 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, meaning 168 total hours in any given week. If you sleep 7 hours per day, that means you have 119 hours where you are not sleeping. If you take 2 hours to eat every day, that means you have 105 hours every day to get some work done when you're not eating or sleeping. I'm not even going to consider time commuting or working out. All those things are very important and they have to get done. But this is just an example for illustration purposes only. That being said, you have plenty of time to put in the extra work it's going to take for you to get to the next level. That doesn't make it any less scary, however. Using credit wisely. Credit can be a very scary thing. If you use it unwisely, you can set your financial future back for years. If you use it unwisely, it can set your financial future back by years and years and result in personal debt that does nothing but act as an anchor on your future success. On the other hand, if you don't use it at all, you're likely going to be an unknown financial risk to lenders. Your classic catch-22. I think it was a classic horror film. Don't quote me. The best thing to do is to get a credit card. Seriously, the best thing to do is get a credit card and only use it to purchase the things that you were going to purchase anyway. Don't add any extra spending. Simply pick the card that kind of aligns to your lifestyle. Most of the rewards from different credit card companies are relatively similar. Airline miles if you like to travel, as an example. If you're an impulsive person and your self-control is lacking, then a credit card is just one more thing that will reinforce bad habits. Again, that can be scary. Another scary financial habit? Investing more than half your income. The thought of spending your income on anything other than cool stuff that you really want is pretty scary. I mean, not having Starbucks every day or purchasing charcoal toothpaste can really be painful. And yes, there is such a thing as charcoal toothpaste, and it is expensive. That being said though, it's supposed to be pretty good at whitening your teeth. Maybe I'll check it out. Anyway, spending every dime of income you have on things you don't need will severely limit your ability to make sound financial moves in the future. If you're in the US and you have a 9-to-5 job, the best place to start is likely your company's 401k. Invest at least the percentage that your company matches into your 401k every paycheck. That's what's called free money in Latin, but that is only the start. Once you have saved up to 6 months of expenses, begin to put a large chunk of your money into some kind of investment vehicle. ETFs or mutual funds or REITs, or all of the above, are fine examples of places to put your money. Start off small. Maybe 5% of your monthly or weekly income. See where that leaves you. Then bump it up to 10% of your income. See how you feel. Keep doing that until you reach 50% of your income or more. Now that might take you some time depending on your income level, and it may require that you earn more money. See the first financial move, getting more skills. But if you can get to 50% or more of your income invested, then you'll accelerate your financial journey. And any percentage point you add on past 50% is strictly gravy. And now you're just showing off, which is a good thing. Another scary financial move would be negotiating everything. Negotiating can be scary, and depending on what you're trying to buy, it can be really hard to pull it off. But just remember, everything has a price, and oftentimes there are price inefficiencies that you can take advantage of. Purchasing a house, maybe try offering just under the asking price. Careful, in certain housing markets, i.e. the US, at the time of recording, it is a seller's market. Getting a new job or a raise, ask for a salary that's just over the median. Purchasing a new car, offer just about factory sticker and see what they say. There are many other examples, and you need to research and have some reasons for each of these negotiations. As an example, at certain times, car dealers are trying to move products to hit their numbers. Try going to the dealership near the end of the month or right before reporting season, typically around the end of the year, or the end of a quarter, or when purchasing a house. Look for houses that have been on the market longer than average. When asking for a higher salary, try and make sure that your industry or skill set is in demand, or maybe have multiple offers on the table. Each of these can increase confidence in your position and reduce the fear factor of negotiating. Finally, the scariest financial move that you probably make that may make you rich: quitting your job. This is the #1 scariest move that you can make that can lead to you being rich. But before you hand in your 2 weeks notice, make sure you have a plan to replace your income. or already have a cash flowing side hustle or other income stream. Quitting is scary for a reason, because if your business or side hustle fails and you can't get your job back or another job, then you'll have no income at all, which will set you back a little bit, maybe even a big bit, maybe even a big bite for all you computer nerds out there. But if you have a side hustle that is cash flowing, but maybe not as much as your current job, maybe consider quitting and turning your side hustle into your main gig. That missing time put into your side hustle could be the missing ingredient if you're turning it into the income stream of your dreams. Even if you don't have a side hustle, but instead have a different job in mind, quitting your job and switching to a different company can be one of the smartest moves you make in your career. People that switch jobs every 2 years or so tend to be paid higher than people who stick at the same job for their entire career. So those were the spookiest financial moves that can make you rich. Which spooky financial moves have you been up to lately? Let us know in the comments down below, and be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell for more great videos from BT Fusion.